All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. IPOB, one family. One family IPOB. Good evening, good night, good morning, and good afternoon from wherever you're joining us, wonderful people of Biafra. You are all welcome to Biafran Twitter space. My name remains your humble Mazi Chukwuemeka Anyoro Okafor. Mazi Okafor is based in Germany. I have the indigenous people of Biafra as the Northern Region Coordinator. May Chukwuka be your strength from wherever you're joining us, and please endeavor to invite your friends, your enemy to this special section we have today, this interactive section. I want to remind each and every one of you, this is not Kindred meeting, this is not Omona meeting, this is not a social club. We gather here today to strategize and execute. We are here to make sure that we free the indigenous population that are trapped in that contraption called Zoo Nigeria. But before we continue, I want to send a special thanks to our eternal leader. I want to praise him, Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, a man that sacrificed everything possible to make sure that people like me and have the opportunity to be here today to fight for the freedom of indigenous population that are trapped in that contraption called Zoo Nigeria. A man that took that decisive step to make sure that as our people were being slaughtered, that during the genocidal war against Biafrans, that our people are not completely eradicated from the face of orbit. I thank you each all, and how could we forget the man of our time, the prophet of our time, the man who saw tomorrow, our spiritual leader, our spring leader, a man who was brutally kidnapped in Kenya, rendition to the contraption called Zoo Nigeria. Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, the leader of over 80 million indigenous population that is from the eastern part of that contraption called Zoo Nigeria. A man filled with wisdom and courage, a man that is unbreakable, even as he is leading from the front, sitting in that DSS dungeon. He's not breakable, he's still there, facing them. He has not taken bribe compromise. He is formidable as ever. We say, may Kike continue to be his friends. May Chukwuka be with him there. May he give him victory against all his enemies, including those that are claiming to be his family members. How could we forget the dust? Wise men that were ordained by Okike. Those that our leader handed this structure over in case of anything. Those that are doing everything possible to make sure that this umbrella, IPOB, that this shelter, that those from the eastern region, that the children of light are using to find shade, that the umbrella always remains safe, and that our people are well protected all the time. Can somebody tweet that the doors are wise? The same greeting and thanks go to the Eastern Security Network, our gallant men back home, those men paying the ultimate sacrifice, day and night, under the sun, under the rain, under the wind, those that left their family to sit on the trench to make sure that at the end of the day, that our ancestral heritage is secure and safe, that our people could be able to live in peace without the terror of the Fulani Janjaweed, the caliphate that have sworn to destroy us. We say, may Okike be their strength. May he be their protector and their savior. We shall defeat our enemies against all odds, whether they like it or not. Both the enemy within that are collaborating, trying to overrule or overturn the judgment of the appeal court, those that are going around blowing whistle, that our leader should, that they will stand surety for our leader. There you can ask yourself, what is the need of the judiciary? What is their work? Why did the appeal court discharge and acquit our leader if there is need for somebody to stand surety for him? We cannot move on without paying a special thanks to our HOD, Mazi Chike Doziem, a man filled with wisdom and patience, a man that has continued, that is steadfast since the rendition, the kidnap and the rendition of our leader. He has stayed true to the cause to make sure that this family remains stable, formidable as ever. We say, may Okike continue to bless him with more wisdom. Against all odds, we shall restore the kingdom of Chukwukabiam on this earth, whether the enemy like it or not. As we keep getting close to this 2023 chariot court election, this election that these gullible people are planning, we shall remain focused. Our goal is the freedom of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the restoration of the kingdom of God on earth, Biafra, of which is non-negotiable, of which there will be no compromise, there will be no retreat, no surrender, until we get to our destination. And nothing is going to stop us, because this mission is ordained by Chukwukabiama, handed over to our leader to lead. Until today, all his prophecies have come to pass, and there is nothing any human being can do against it. Before we move on, I want to remind each and every one of you, in case you have the need to share your wonderful views or to contribute to whatever topic we have today, all you need to do is to indicate, and as time goes on, we are going to call you in and you will have 3 minutes to share your views to wonderful people from all over the world, to lovers of freedom from all over the world. We shall not forget the list to say thank you for the host, and we want to use this opportunity to apologize to all our listeners for things that are beyond our control with the network problem we have in the last program. So, as you all know, this movement, this hallowed movement, IPOB, is under attack from powers that call themselves world powers, from powers that think that they are bigger than Chukwukabiama. They are attacking us from every angle that they can. Even there are some parts of our leaders' family, extended family, we should call them, because these are not family members. Casey Rezebiro is pulling his stunts from one city to the other. Today, Germany, tomorrow England, tomorrow South Africa. I wonder where he's getting the money to travel all this journey that he's making. He's a man that is jobless in Germany. A man that is not paying a monthly dues to any IPOB family in Germany. But by the grace of Chukwuka Biama, I believe that IPOB Germany will do justice to this animal, to this betrayer, to this saboteur called Kanu Kane Ezebiro. His journey is going to end Germany, and very soon he will be forgetting like a pond. And that is what is going to be at the end of the day. There will be nothing that will save his destiny. We want to remind each and every one of you the message of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, on his last broadcast before his brutal kidnap and rendition back to the contraption of Nigeria. As time goes on, I'm going to play the message on this hallowed space to remind those of you, because they say the biggest problem Black people have is that most of us have short memory. We are quick to forget. We are quick to forget whatever events that are transpiring in front of our eyes. But we in IPOB, we don't forget and we keep records. Our leader said in his last broadcast, whatever DOS says goes. And he many principal officers that he ordained in these occasions. And he said, whatever they said goes. But today, what we are seeing is attack. Should I call this individual Satan? But we are going to defeat him. There is nothing he can do because he's just useless and has no job to do. I want to remind each and every one of you today, today will be exactly 6 months that the United Nations Working Group that gave Nigerian, or should we call them the contraption or zoo terrorist government, 6 months to implement the unconditional release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and compensate him. United Nations is being put to test with this. Mankind is being put to test with this. Our leader prophesies without the restoration of Biafra, and as long as these so-called powers to be continue to sabotage the children of light, as long as they continue to support the neo-colonialists that are killing and enslaving our people, then we have no peace. This problem they have right now in Europe will continue until they do the right thing, whether they like it or not, against all odds, and that is how it's supposed to be. We are going to touch on many issues today. We are going to touch on many issues today. Before we continue, I would like to use the opportunity to introduce our co-host, Mazi Kechuku. Mazi Kechuku, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mazi.
As you are welcome to the space, may Okike be your strength. The mic is yours.
Ise. Dalo Mazi. Thank you very much, Mazi. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone, depending on where you are listening from. My name, as you all know, is Mazi Kechuku. I'm speaking precisely from Biafra land. And I must say a very big thank you to everyone here. I wouldn't forget to say a very big thank you and a very gigantic praise to our most indefatigable leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the most wise DOS that he left behind. I must always commend these people. I must always commend our gallant men at the front, the ESN. I must say thank you to everyone, and may Chukwuka Biama grant our heart desire, our positive heart desire, which is the restoration of Biafra, which is sacrosanct. So without much further ado, I would like to touch some things that have been bothering me here, that have been bothering me. First of all, we all know that the DOS have not ordered for any form of sit at home by Tuesday. They have not ordered for any form of sit at home. But I heard someone here, someone who is a friend, who said something about sit at home. I asked him, where did you hear that from? He said he saw it somewhere on the internet. And I said, no, it is wrong. The DOS, the IPOB authority, did not order any sit at home. Any other thing that you heard is fake and a bunch of noise making. There would be no sit at home because the DOS, the IPOB authority, did not issue so. And
Mazi,
second,
Mazi, please,
uh,
before you just continue, I would like you to just hold on because this topic you touch now, I wanted us to go to, how do I say it, that we widen it up so that
mm,
our listeners will understand exactly where we are going and they will be able to speak the message. Let me use the opportunity to just to add to what you're saying, to play a video, and then after that you will continue. You will get mic back, please.
okay, Mazi.
Okay, please. This is the word of our leader for those that did not have it. Anybody not following anything that DOS says goes. Anybody not following orders from TK, basically from DOS, you will be removed from IPOB and sanctioned appropriately. You know, before we remove you without knowing where you are. This time around, we will catch you before we remove you. Anything DOS, what goes. This minister is heading our reconciliation team. If he calls you on the phone, you must listen to him and do as he says. He is our deputy head of Directorate of Faith, led by Mazi. They are the highest fundraising budget in IPOB. If that is difficult, then now understand it to me. Do you understand? Everything they have, if they call you on the phone, the only time they call on your days from head, I wouldn't believe that the issue has got you over and it becomes anybody not following anything that DOS says goes. Anybody not following orders from TK, basically from DOS, you will be removed from IPOB and sanctioned appropriately. You know, before we remove you without knowing where you are. This time we will come before we remove you. Okay. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom from all over the world. I hope this from our target too, because one thing I said once is that people you forget very fast. We used to forget. If most of you, I always say, anybody that is a student of Radio Biafra, I used to follow our leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We remember exactly when he says this word because he's a man that saw tomorrow. He knows that this particular situation we are now right now is going to come. When he was giving these directives to we as IPOB family members. So when one idiot, one non-entity, one animal from nowhere come out and start declaring sit at home, and you have some ignorant bastards, I should call them, those that their frontal lobe is not functioning at all, running up and down in social media, trying to lock our people back home, claiming sit at home, backing it up words of Anambra State Governor Soludo, and most some I shouldn't say most people because these are just some elements. Those that are supposed to be in psychiatric treatment, those are having psychiatric problems. And they will be going around trying to fool our people, telling them there is it at home on so day, on so day. Anybody that listens to it is listening to it at his own, should I compare? Because that person will perish with them. We are using this opportunity to advise our brothers, our people back home, the indigenous population living in the eastern part of that country, to go about your business. This animal, this Ekperimada based in Finland and his co-host and the APC Nigerian terrorist Fulani's government that is sponsoring him, they cannot do anything. They have no say in our region. So don't listen to them. Because the mistake most people do is to listen to them at all. These days, when I'm on social media, if I see their message, I just ignore it and move on. Because they have nothing to offer apart from distraction. Their main goal is to make sure, as they're saying this thing now, they are preparing to kill people before the election. This is what that's why, as that they keep tweeting no election in Biafra land, it is our duty to know those people that are tweeting it, their pages. Keep marking them so that when the time comes, store whatever they are posting. When the time comes, we start reposting it to the authorities, to the international community. Let them know those that are instigating a problem. That is not IPOB. Because everything, all their game plan, we know it. That's why we say the doors are wise. We know we are 7 steps ahead of them. We know their game plan. Our leader said before his rendition 2 years ago that we are not interested in 2023 election and we are not going to disrupt the democratic process because these are what our enemies are waiting for. We have freedom, mass movement, peaceful one. And we are leading by example. We want to show the world what they have not seen before, and they are seeing it. And that's why it's impossible for any country, apart from that contraption called zoo, Nigeria, to proscribe us. And we advise us to stop getting negative vibes from all this rubbish nets from all this rubbish that exists in most of these social media platforms. To avoid tampering with your frontal lobe. Before I continue, let me hand back the mic to Mazi Ikechukwu. Mazi, are you there? Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi Ikechukwu, can you? It's like Mazi is not there, so we must continue. When he's back, then I'm going to call him back again. But right now, we have to continue because Mazi, you back?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Mazi. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you. So, as I was saying, another thing is that our people must continue to jettison this what would I call it, some preposterous who has come up to just destroy.
Mazi, you are not coming out so clean. It's like where you are, you doesn't have net.
Yo, can you hear me very well now?
I can hear you very well now, loud and clear.
Thank you, Mazi. So I must tell our people that IPOB is deflated on
Mazi, I think you're Mazi, can you hear me?
under the principle.
Mazi.
Please, the network on my side is They are
And
suppressing the network from my side.
yeah, I think that's exactly what is happening. The network from your side is not stable. If it's the attack that the zoo are perpetuating, I don't know, but I would advise maybe you should just 5 minutes and look for a better position, and then I will give you back. Like, or are you now in a better place where the network is better?
I think, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You can continue.
Okay, thank you, Mazi. So, like I was saying, IPOB is deflated under the principle of discipline. You can't do anyhow in IPOB because we are under the principle of command and control. So, without any further ado, I will always tell you to jettison any form of countering anybody countering the orders of the DOS, because they are the highest power holders in the movement of IPOB. They are the highest power holders. When they order for any form of seat at home, you all will know, everybody will know. All of us will tweet it, all of us will post it everywhere, and our people will listen. But here and now, this very shenanigan, this very uh, um, despicable infiltrator has now come in with the plan to kill our people again. He has come to kill our people again. And that is what we must counter by big media war against
Mazi, your net,
the United
your
Nations.
your net has started again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mazi. I can hear
Mazi,
you. I
your
can hear
net
you,
is
Mazi.
your voice is a kind of disappearing again. But now I think it's back. Maybe you can repeat your statement where you were before. You can just continue again. Let me see.
Okay, thank you, Mazi. Thank you. Like I said before, as IPOB, as far as IPOB is concerned, whatever the DOS says goes. Whatever the DOS says goes. There should be no form of misinformation to our people. You all should mark the people who are posting this rubbish called sit at home. All this rubbish, all this unnecessary sit at homes that they are doing. They have come again to on a plan to kill our people. And that is the reason why we must start now to push a media war against the United Nations to release our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what we must do, because once our leader is released, nobody, I repeat, nobody can ever touch even the hair from any member of the Biafran land. Any Biafran, nobody can touch the hair of a Biafran in the form of uh, um, ordering any form of nonsensical sit at home. We must always continue to jettison and debunk all these lies so that our people will always be safe. So therefore, I advise everybody that once this space broadcast is over, we must carry out a media war, especially tomorrow, which is our Tweet Tuesday. And I am very much concerned now because our people are now backsliding in this Tweet Tuesday. Our people are now backsliding. Last week, nobody did anything upon the fact that it was reported by our our indefatigable barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, that our leader is being subjected into pains and depression. Our people, some of our people just kept quiet without carrying out the useful. So I must state that this Tweet Tuesday must hold in its high peak. It must hold, it must continue, because our leader's wife came up the other day and encouraged us about the Tweet Tuesday. She was somehow, it was somehow that she put more fire to it, that immediately she said it, the next Tweet Tuesday was a fire. The media war was so tremendous that even the what is it called, media houses carried it. The information media, they carried all of our tweets. We pushed a lot of tweets that there were a lot of things to talk about, and the whole of Twitter was all, you know, filled up with our tweet. So we must continue. We must continue. We must continue. Encourage your people, encourage your relatives to come into Twitter. If you are a Biafran supporter and you have never tweeted, shame on you. That is what our leader Mazi Kanu said. Shame on you if you have never tweeted. Come in, invite your people to come in and tweet. Let us push this media war against the United Nations in order to compel the Nigerian government to release our leader Mazi Kanu. And this is what we must do. I hope and believe that everyone agrees to my suggestion. Without wasting much time, I would like to hand over the mic to our dear brother Mazi Chukwuemeka Anyora. Thank you once again. Thank you, Biafrans.
Thank you, Mwachineke. May Chukwu Kabiama bless you and may he be your strength. You see, United Nations is being put to test. I think their reputation the last years have suffered, from Syria to Iraq, Afghanistan, from Afghanistan to Ukraine to Congo, from Congo to Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe to Central African Republic, from Central African Republic to Mali, from Mali to Burkina Faso, from Burkina Faso to Egypt. The world are doubting United Nations. They are just, or if they can do justice to the oppressed. And the way it looked like, the world are still waiting to see what they are going to do in the case of our leader that is brutally kidnapped in Kenya and rendition to that contraption called Zoo Nigeria. Today marks 6 months that advise Nigerian government or instruct Nigerian government to release our leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, unconditionally and compensate him. Today marks the 6 months that they said our leader is a prisoner of conscience because our leader did nothing wrong. Our leader committed no crime against the rule of law. Our movement is not proscribed anywhere around the globe. We are known as freedom fighting movement, the biggest one you have in this earth, whiter than white and whiter than snow. So if the United Nations fail to act on the rules, on the condition that they lay, on their charter, it will be another raiding, it will be it will be another shame on them. It will be a confirmation of what somebody like Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, has said thousands of times. It will be the confirmation of what somebody like the former president of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, said, or the former president of Zimbabwe, our hero, Robert Mugabe, said that United Nations is compromised, that the globalists have bought over United Nations, those rich families, those that let the world belong to them, those that believe that they have the monopoly to decide who lives and who dies. Their inaction in this issue concerning Biafra, and our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is going to be a complete catastrophic event for United Nations. The world are looking to see what they will see. It is our collective duty as Biafrans to go back and bring their tweets, to go back and bring their pronouncement from 6 months ago and start tweeting it this night. Not tomorrow, not next tomorrow, but from tonight. Keep tweet. To tweet is not difficult. If you can't tweet, retweet the one another IPO member tweeted. Go to page of Machina Sanworu. Go to page of Isaiah Oba. Go to page to the space of Biafran Twitter space. We have many Elochukwu Ohaji, Emeka Gift. We have many family members on Twitter, and everybody should go there because our leader keeps shouting before his rendition that Facebook and others are compromised already bought by this Fulani government in that contraption called Nigeria. They are not just anymore. That's why our leader said, give a journalist in that contraption called Zoo money, and he's going to tell you how good Satan is. Is that not what is happening today? With all the massacre our people are suffering, from a Hamufu massacre to Osu massacre, from Osu massacre to Olu massacre, from Olu massacre to Osu massacre, from Obaru massacre to Enugu massacre, from Enugu massacre to Ebony massacre, from Ebony massacre to Ozuburu massacre, from Ozuburu massacre to Ihiala, and so on and so forth. How many of them does all these brown envelope journalists in that contraption called Zoo have ever printed and posted? How many times have they bring the attention of international community about the things our family members are going through in that contraption called Zoo Nigeria? Once anything happen in other region, you will see them running up and down with it. You'll be singing message with it. But today, as we talk, you have the zombies, the zoo soldier, the terrorist Nigerian government zombie soldiers committing another genocide at Olu today. As we are talking here, debating on what strategy we are going to use, they are killing our people. Go to and the media outlets tomorrow, you are not going to see anything. They are not going to print anything about it. They are not to say anything about it. Because why? Those that are being killed are Biafrans. And that's why none of them is going to say anything. Because they are all sold out. They've sold their soul to the devil. And they are not doing the right thing. But we must continue. We must continue doing the right thing because we are disciplined. Our leader taught us already what to do. We were completely designed, built, molded by our leader. He gave us a heart of stone. He gave us the understanding of filled with wisdom so that we will know which path to follow in this situation and we will never disappoint him. Before I continue, I want to call him Mazi Lion Man. Comrade, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mazi.
Mazi, may Okike bless you and be your strength. The mic is yours.
Okay, bless you too, my Mazi. Firstly, let me just compliment you of the new year. Happy New Year, every Biafrans that are here. This is another beautiful year and another beautiful month. And I pray that Chukwuka Abiyama will grant all our heart desire this very year and give us our freedom, because there is nothing sweeter than freedom. He said, he said, he said. Mazi, I thank you so much for this particular conversation that you are anchoring on this particular Twitter amp. And it has been a while that I haven't joined on this particular conversation. So sorry for that absent for too long. Just that I'm busy for something. So the importance of Biafra, like what you said, the importance of Biafra being on Twitter is very, very important. It is very, very imperative that all of us engage in tweeting, because Facebook is not a place where a major focus of the international community is on Twitter. International community focuses on Twitter. And like what I was discussing today on my broadcast, I said the reason why the CNN, who are known best for using their power of media to intimidate those that want to be, they want to be killed, is because of how sophisticated the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, trained the Biafrans towards the power of media. So media is very, very important that we all understand this particular fact, especially on Twitter. So what I want to tell the indigenous people in Nigeria, what I mean by indigenous people in Nigeria, like the Biafrans, the Oduduwas, the Arewas, and the Middle Belters, about their journalism. You see, they are thinking that they are weakening the Biafrans for being compromised in terms of their field, in terms of journalism in Nigeria. But they never knew that they are digging their own very grave. I will explain why I say they are digging their own very grave. In every nation of the world, media is the only umbrella that sustains the right of the people. Media, journalism is the powerhouse of democracy. Journalism is the powerhouse of human rights sustenance. So in Nigeria, because of that Biafrans are being murdered on daily basis, they are being abducted on daily basis, they are being disappeared on daily basis by the state of Nigeria. Then thought that helping the Nigerian state to keep silent or to keep the world blind concerning the happening that is going on against the Biafrans in Nigeria, that they are doing good to the state of Nigeria. They never knew that they are destroying almost everybody that is being found there. When I look at them, I laugh. I was in a discussion with some group of people that matters, and this issue was raised. Why is Nigeria, they asked me if Nigeria does not have journalists. I said they have journalists, but the journalists are being paid to keep silent on atrocities going on. These people, they shouted, they said, what? Journalists being bribed, being paid? I said, exactly. They are being paid. So I raised this issue of them digging their own grave. I pity those in Nigeria. Why I pity them is because of journalism has been completely buried in Nigeria. And for that purpose, every other person being found in that cycle called Nigeria, their lives are in a heavy danger. Even those people working as journalists, their own life as well are in heavy danger. The little news that the world are seeing today, maybe somebody being burned to death by Funanis in the north in the name of Islam, is only being aired by IPOB. Somebody being raped in Yoruba land today, if captured by IPOB, is only being aired and posted to the world by IPOB. Every atrocity is going on in Nigeria today are being seen only on the platform of IPOB. So the world are taking note of all this. And when they verify this particular news, they find out that this news is true. There is no fake about it. So, and their surprise is, why is this thing not coming from the mainstream media of the state called Nigeria? It's not coming there. And this is why the Funanis are in the top of the game, because they think they are receiving money. They are being bribed. They focus on money and they let Biafrans die. No, they are not doing us, because we are more wiser than them. We have taken over the media. We are speaking for ourselves. Our own story have been discussed by ourselves, not by foreigners, not by those visitors. And that is the main and the most thing that we must be proud of. So my brother and every other comrade in this particular discussion, I will ask all of us to fasten our belt, to add more effort, especially on Twitter. Like what you said, if you don't know how to tweet, please retweet what other people tweeted. We have many platforms, Emeka Gift, we have China Sangoru, we have Oba, Aziko, Azayoba. We have many platforms of IPOB community radio, family writers of IPOB. You know, all those things. You go there, you retweet. And every other IPOB members who are doing marvelously well on Twitter, you retweet their Twitter concerning the issue that surround our leader, the continuous of illegal detention of our leader after court has ordered discharged and acquitted. If not for the power of media, that is a game the Funanis wanted to play against our leader, that made Soludo rush into action by making mistake, by asking that they should release him under shorty, that he will shorty him. For those who are insulting Governor Soludo, I will urge Biafrans to stop that. It's not wise, because we do remember things. We IPOB keep record. Soludo was only politician in 2016 who initiated and organized group of people, which Professor Pat Otom was among, to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We must not forget this particular step. Then Soludo was only governor who have visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We must not forget this. So there is a game Fulani wanted to play. Due to Soludo is a human being, is bound to do mistake. He forgot that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been discharged and acquitted. There was a meeting held by the security chiefs in Nigeria. They said, yes, that the court decided what is right about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the security chiefs said that they are afraid, that they need a capable hand that they will hand Mazi Nnamdi Kanu over to. And believe me, our heavyweight politicians were present in this discussion. None of them said anything. Our senator did not say anything by challenging the security chiefs about what the law said. They all keep quiet because they are all afraid of this coming election, so that they don't know what they will say. Then the opportunity of remaining in power will be denied from them. Then Soludo heard about this discussion that no one responded to the chief security of the chief securities of Nigeria. So he decided to volunteer himself to do exactly what they demanded. But what Soludo forgot to understand, that they wanted to play a smart game. Fulani and Britain wanted to play a smart game. to see if we are wise or we are foolish. That thing, they wanted to test the brain of Biafrans by saying, okay, let's say if that time Soludo say that thing, then IPOB will relax and allow Soludo to go and take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a shorty. That is where the Fulani could have just cleaned up their mess, because they are looking for a way to clean up the crime they committed internationally. Because adoption of somebody and the reduction of somebody illegally is an international crime. So that is why they targeted Soludo. Even Malami, immediately Malami heard Soludo's speech. He is demanding, he calls of Soludo, he have called Soludo that he is waiting for him to come forward, for him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to him under shorty. Do you see how smart he wanted to play? Why must you release him under shorty? Why can't you release him based on the law and they pay him the compensation and the first the cost and they bring to book those people who carry out that job? Because those people who went for that kidnapping must be brought to book according to international law. So he wanted to scatter everything through that area. That is why I say, yes, we have asked Soludo question about, were you not a professor? Why can't you understand the word discharged and acquitted? But at the same time, we must not insult him. He's a human being. He's a human being. So we don't want peace. He wants total peace in Biafra land. That is why he was in a haste to make that demand, because you know that the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will bring total tranquility in Biafra territory generally, which some other politicians are ignorant about. They don't know that they finally want to use the continuation of detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to scatter the peaceful environment of Biafra land, because our land has been recorded as the most peaceful region in the world. Forget about development. We don't have development. Not having development is the fault of our politicians, not anybody's fault. But in terms of peace, the people of this region have maintained peace and tranquility in terms of society. So, Mazi, I will stop here. I don't want to go much detail, because more I talk, more I review some certain things that is not good for air. So, I thank you very much for this wonderful job you are doing. God bless you.
Mazi, thanks very much, and may remain your wisdom. You see the details you gave just now. I can understand from your own point of view how you explain it, and that's why sometimes when one makes statements, and if you feel the statement you make is not so fitting, then you should come out to bring out a counter statement, so that those that listen to your first statement will understand exactly where you're going to. You see, for we that are living here in diaspora, when they shot somebody, that person doesn't need a kind of shorty, you know. So when Soludo make that statement, he's going to shorty our leader, they should release him to him. We get automatically this feeling of does he need a kind of a mojo, or should I call it a marionette, that he want to have our leader as somebody that he will use to control Ndibo in his custody, so that our leader will just sit in the house, then he will be telling our leader what to tell us. You say, Biafran, we are born as free people. And I think that's why at God, we continue this fight. Even if it means sacrificing the last of our kind, we are very formidable and we are willing to do it. We are mentally strong. Our leader, this is the first thing he did with IPOB members. I can tell you, especially those of us in diaspora. He built us, our leader make sure he took out the, should I call it the chain that are tied around our brain, so that we will understand exactly what time is, so that we understand the importance of total freedom without compromise, so that we understand that everlasting life is not living a 1,000 years. At that 1,000 years of life, when you somebody Mercedes, and you remember that there was a man called that Mercedes or Daimler. You remember there's a man called that Daimler. It is about your legacy is that everlasting life they're talking about. So people like us that have taken it as a task, as a duty, make sure that our people are free. Free. The type that Patrice Lumumba wanted to give the people Democratic Republic of Congo before he sabotaged by his own brother, Seseseku. Type of freedom Tom wanted to give the people of Burkina Faso before he was sabotaged and killed by his own brother, Blake Campore. These are the type of freedom we are fighting to get our people, because our ancestors were the only people that take freedom. 3 good years among the black race. The other people are those in Haiti, and we saw the punishment we are facing today. And those Haitians, according to history record, are Biafrans too, more especially. But we will come to it another day. So what am I trying to say here? If Professor Soludo, he went to visit our leader in DSS dungeon, and since all this while he kept everybody, call it, in the shadow, and then on the campaign ground he came out to pronounce they should release our leader to him. I think that was a wrong step at the wrong time, because as a professor, he should be able to know that he should also compose a memo detailing why he deemed it necessary for Nigerian terrorist government to uphold the rule of law, to release a man that is innocent, a man that under the same constitution, under the judiciary in that contraption in Nigeria, man that the appeal court found innocent and discharge him. As a professor, he should have known better. He should be able to conclude, send it to Malami, send it to the president of Nigeria, send it to the community. That for the government to uphold the rule of law, to save the image of that contraption called Zoo Nigeria, than to going in campaign ground to say that they should release our leader to him as a surety. We are not in a stone age. I'm just sorry for if that was a blunder and take from him. I'm sorry, but he has the time to correct it, so that people like us that have lived in this civilized world and know what it means to live in a community, in a civilization where the rule of law work, so that we will respect that professor is putting behind his name. With all due respect, is no insult, but it's just a kind word from our own direction, in his own to his direction. And I'm going to hang it there. Before I continue, I would like to bring it as Biafran Patriots. Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi Crusader.
Hello, good evening, my brother. I can hear you very well.
Mazi, you are welcome. You are a steady listener to us. You can just use your 3 minutes to share your wonderful word of wisdom to Biafrans, because we promise our listeners actually program should not pass 1 hour, because it's not just only we that are present here today follow this program. We have thousands of people that will still go and this program, and when it's too long, find people out of that, this, one thing or the other, they will not invest that time to, get this important awareness. May Chukwu Kabiama be your strength. The mic is yours, Mazi.
Thank you, Mazi. Good evening, good morning, good night to every Biafrans. As you all know, we are under the the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and also under the direction of the DOS. My fellow Biafrans, from everything I've heard about tweeting, it is very important for us all to understand that the fight on Twitter is for real. Twitter has the ability to go, any message on Twitter goes far, very far before you know what's happening. I'm going to use myself as an example. I've tweeted a lot about the quietness of the Vatican that brought that has a Catholic Church under them. I've written a lot tagging the pontifex, that is the Pope in Vatican. Many a times have I done this to let him understand that people are dying in Biafra, and most of them that are dying are Catholics. These are people that contribute their little quota every Sunday. The money is shared between the diocese, wherever, and the Vatican. They don't care about the people that are doing it. After the Reverend Father that was killed in Niger State, burned to death, the Pope was in the Vatican praying for the soul. Praying for the soul is not doing. Nope, there's no plus in it. Why have they not all spoken up? Oh, we know that we know that the Anglican Church won't say anything because they are in England, and they are the King of England is the head of the Anglican Church. But why is it that the Catholic Church will not say anything? Because at the end of it all, they all agree together as Europeans that they are to stand against anybody that wants to fight for freedom. But the message to them is that no matter what they do, no matter how much they press us down, we are going to stand up and we are going to reign as a state of Biafra. And Biafra is going to be hailed as a nation of itself. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, my brothers.
Thank you very much, Mazi Crusader. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to bless you. I'm following your wonderful work from my base here in Bremen.
Thank you very much.
Alles good. Danke schön.
Yeah, danke schön. Yeah.
That is it. Comrades and lovers of freedom from all over the world, it is very important that we get more active in Twitter. You can see that our enemies are trying to cause it at home from their evil den, wherever, trying to cause confusion during this election time, trying to murder innocent citizens, Biafra, trying to disrupt the democratic process that you have in the eastern region, so that at the end of the day, all the crime they committed, they will blame it on indigenous people under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is our duty. It is our duty to make sure that they do not succeed, and we are going to do everything possible to stop them. Our leader gave us a weapon, and that weapon is to make sure that we are active in social media. And that weapon is to make sure that we tell our own story, that leave the field for our enemies to change the narrative and tell our story. So make sure you are there to tell our story at the right time. Before we continue, I'm going to call in Mazi Victor Emeka. Mazi Emeka, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Mazi, you asked for the mic in the last two programs, and I couldn't permit time. So today, you are getting the opportunity. Please, are you listening? Can you off your device because it's echoing here? Can you? Yes. Please, if you're listening with Bluetooth, maybe you should just disconnect the Bluetooth, because while I'm talking, I can hear echo from your side. But Mazi Jadi, you will have the mic 3 minutes, please. Because
Okay, thank you, Mazi. Thank you. The last time I talked, I didn't introduce myself. So my name is Mazi Jadi Emeka, speaking from Biafra land. On what you're saying here, I thank Biafra for this platform, for this great platform to spread the news about Biafra, about restoration of Biafra. Yes, we all must learn how to tweet. We all must learn how to do that. You should remember in 1967 Biafran war against Nigeria. People should remember that what British people use to lie against our people is media. Once our people will be killing, they will be reporting another thing to the international bodies, telling them that nothing is happening, that everything is fine, this and that, while our people will be killing everywhere. Our people will be massacred, and they will be telling the world that nothing is happening. And this is our time. This is our time to tell the world what has happened. It's our time to tell the world about who we are. This is our time to tell the world what we want. But some people will be doing nothing. Some people will be doing nothing out of it. Do you know that some of people here, they have the data to do so? They might go to any other internet to run their data and earn money from it, and you won't stop them. But they are here to spread the gospel so that we will have our freedom. And some people will be doing nothing. It's a big shame. Yes, it's a big shame to some of us that you cannot even tweet or retweet what others people have tweeted. And you saying that you are a freedom fighter, you are an IPOB member. No, you are not. You are just a disgrace to the struggle. And about sit at home, people should disregard any information that is coming from that agent provocateur. But because the man is just a distraction. Just look at this man called Church and Belt lawyer that is speaking from nowhere, just talking nonsense. I would just suggest that we people should block, delete the man because he's just a distraction too. Some people have been going there to comment. No, it's a distraction. It's just to distract our people. That's also their plan. That's also their strategy. I suggest that the man should be blocked and be deleted, because once that is done, you see that that man's page, everything will run down. He will know that yes, Igbos are great, that we are determined for our freedom. We don't need intellectual people to come and interfere in what we are doing. So that's what I have to say. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Okabiama bless you and continue to be your strength. You are always welcome here. Biafrans, before we continue or before I call in the next speaker, I want to use this opportunity to share this message to you that IPOB Germany, under the leadership of Mazi Chinedu, Able National and all the coordinators in Germany, have come up with a decision to suspend Mazi Kanu. Mazi Kanu from today no more a member of IPOB Germany, and it has nothing to do with IPOB as a whole here in Germany. This is a man that is not paying a month's dues, and this is a man that has been causing problems, a man that sabotaged somebody he called his own bloodline, a man that told us that our leader is praying in the mountain while our leader was brutally kidnapped and renditioned to Nigeria, a man that keep going up and down trying to see if he can take over different IPOB units so that he will continue plundering the fund of IPOB. This man has been from today, he's suspended and is no more a member of IPOB. We must continue at move. I want to call in Mazi Cartoon, and after Mazi Cartoon, Mazi Ketipa will take the mic. Mazi Cartoon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, Mazi. The mic is yours. Okay, continue to be your strength. Continue.
Yeah, my brothers, I really appreciate my sisters on the forum. I really appreciate you all. I want you all to be strong, to be courageous in everything you are doing. Fear not. You know, freedom is not free. That's one thing every one of us have to understand. The main issue I came here for, if you could remember the last time I commented here on this forum about the release of Nnamdi Kanu, I heard what our last speaker said, not this, the first speaker before this man. He said that we should appreciate Soludo for what he has said. To me, I think I disregard that. We cannot appreciate Soludo because this is a game. If truly you understand what is going on, this is a game. I believe the Nigerian government is trying to play a game. They don't know where to hold on to. It's a big disgrace for them just to let Nnamdi Kanu go free like that. It's a big disgrace to them. So they are trying to like push in something that, okay, in any way they found it, okay, Soludo or Ojus Okalu was the person able to release him. He's under his sortie. He's not under the federal government anymore. But if they had come before, if Soludo had come before this case, before the case started, and said they should give him Nnamdi Kanu, it would have been preferred. But not after court judgment. That is one thing I want that last speaker, before this speaker speak, to understand that the court judgment is now pronounced. So when Soludo coming out to say they should give him Nnamdi Kanu, I think that is a blasphemy to me. I think that is a blasphemy. Well, if Soludo is truly interested in it, what he should have done, like what you said, is to write a letter to the federal government and publish it on national paper that they should release Nnamdi Kanu, like Ojus Okalu cleared himself, because I could remember a week before Soludo came out to say that he wants them to release Nnamdi Kanu to him. The paper media also said that Ojus Okalu wants them to release Nnamdi Kanu to him, even to his hometown, to his house, which I really debunked it. Now he has come out to claim himself that he is not part of it, that they should release Nnamdi Kanu. So I think the statement is clear in a white and black paper. There's nothing to pretend there. There's nothing to hide. For me, they should keep holding him if they wish, because we are waiting for the United Nations. We want to see how weak or how strong the United Nations is. Not, I don't believe who is Soludo. We only respect him as the governor, but coming out to say they should give him Nnamdi Kanu, I think that's a blasphemy to Biafra nation. If truly you want to speak for the Biafrans, he should come out and stop the killing happening in Biafra land, not for him to come out and say they should give him Nnamdi Kanu because of the election. So for me, I don't have anything against anybody. The statement there is they should take him back to Kenya. You know, I said something before. If Soludo feels he is so smart, they should give him Nnamdi Kanu. He should take Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya. So when the Kenyan government hold him there, he will explain to them that he's the one that kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, because we want to know those who kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. That's the reason why Biafrans are agitating. We want to know those who went for the involvement, because even the statement of the United Nations, they stated that the Nigerian government is going to explain. So the court have already given their proceeding and give their pronouncement. I expect what I need is Soludo can come out as, okay, you'll be the one to take Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya. I'll be the first person to say, okay, that's good. But not for you to tell us that you keep Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. Is Nigeria safe for him? Nigeria is not safe for him. We need somebody that will take him back to Kenya. So if he wants to come out, he should come out and declare to the whole world that you will be the one to take Nnamdi Kanu back to Kenya. Then we Biafrans, for people like me, I don't know for other people, I will support him 100% because he was kidnapped in Kenya, not in Nigeria. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mazi, for your wise word and your wisdom. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to bless you. You see, your word is just easy and simple and clear for even a blind person to understand, a deaf person to understand. Thanks very much. I will call in a Mazi. Mazi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Welcome, may Chukwu Kabiama bless just of the group for a very long time. So the mic is used, the introduction for our old leaders. I think the new ones, they should get used to your way. The mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Mazi Chukwuemeka Anyola, and our host, Biafran Twitter. I'm Ifeanyi is my name, and by the special grace of Chukwu Abiyama, I am an indigenous person of Biafra by oath. I stay in the United States, and I'm a very loyal student and listener of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu right from day one. And I take my instructions from the very structure that Mazi Nnamdi laid out himself, which is the Directorate of State headed by Mazi Chike, which is and will remain until proven otherwise the very structure of this movement, the backbone of this movement. I greet each and every one of us here. I recognize so many because we've been on this street for a long time. We have been doing this even when it wasn't even safe to have a space. But my main reason of taking this mic today is for those people who always come to your any post you make about Biafra and stuff and try to, in a way, to sneak in the midget in Finland, to push a narrative and, start something. If you want attention, if you so much crave for attention, just like your boss, the midget in Finland, Twitter is a big enough space for you. You shouldn't be coming into our thread to push your nonsense narratives because you needed attention. This Twitter has so many communities. It has so many space for you to go and spew your nonsense. We can't be here trying to make a way while you all are here gossiping like market women who don't even know their left and right. My people went down to the east this Christmas. They couldn't even stay for 1 week just because of how some people are going around trying to make it look like they're in charge. But I think that ESN is cleaning up, and very soon it will be complete. Very, very soon it will be complete. Please, if your intentions are to come into our space here and start to BS this, SE that, because there is other places for you to go and speak your madness. It is not here. We are here to discuss something important and enlighten others on the movement, which Chukwuemeka Biafra has, through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, may open our eyes and made us take up this as a purpose. You cannot come over here and just because you have data and internet, you're talking nonsense, something you heard from someone. There are men on ground. There are men who are doing something, but you chose to always go to a show, because that's what he always boasts of views. Have you ever seen a preacher who boasts of views? Have you ever seen a leader who boasts of how many people came to listen to him? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started, we didn't have any FM. There was AM and Facebook. Most of us had to you have to put your radio on a certain position in your house before you could hear Mazi's thundering voice. It will be cracking a very little bit, but you will be connecting the dots yourself. Mazi didn't boast of no viewers for 1 day. The only thing he talks about in his broadcast is the lines are down. They are jamming our signals. This space has crashed. This, that. But you always choose to listen to someone whose whole focus is how he's being seen, how his body structure is, and posting nudes of women online. And you come here to talk to gentlemen about how we should handle our own house. I'm here to tell you that if they go find somewhere else. And on the issue of Salute, they're talking about Nnamdi Kanu. If you go to my page, you will see a post I made that very day. Umuchuku writers posted the video. Even though it's the basic thing to do, we shouldn't celebrate it. It's the basic thing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been released by a company. Although it's not competent because none of those rules, none of those judgment has been affirmed, none of them has been carried out. So I wouldn't call it a competent law court. But Soludo saying the same thing that Mazi Chukwuemeka said and is being celebrated is typical nonsense. Who is Soludo? He's just a governor. Just a governor. And governors and politicians, the only thing they do is tell you what you want to hear. And then they do what they want to do. Soludo, if you all could remember last year when he took office, the only thing he could boast of in his first 100 days in office was to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's the only political achievement he had last year, to visit Mazi in detention, take pictures and come out. And because this man is interested in followership, he's interested in publicity, the thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could give him, and not the thing he would give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So we shouldn't be celebrating that nonsense. And so it is to each and every one of them. We're carrying those names about, talking about Mazi this, Mazi that. The only thing we want is action. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu first. Then we know that you're serious. So right now, even if Peter B sits in Abuja and say, I want to call for the release, we all know the game. We're not new. We're not new to this kind of shit. We all know how they work. So let them not feed your emotions or tamper with your emotions, because we as Ndibo, we are too emotional when probably tomorrow Tinubu mounts the podium and start talking about Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody forgets who Tinubu is. Everybody forgets who they are because they mentioned the only name there 12. And I can't blame you, but sometimes you have to put emotions aside. You have to put emotions aside and face reality. Mazi is being incarcerated because of those men that you are seeing talking from two sides of their mouth. So by that being done, I am here to encourage each and every one of us. Although I have been absent for a little bit, but I wasn't absent. I have been in this struggle 100%, 101. And please do not be discouraged. February will nail the final, will nail the coffin. February, this election, if it will hold, will nail either way. Even if they decide to step down for Peter B to be president, the whole thing, like just Mazi always say, every single step, every single movement, every single plan the enemy makes lifts us closer to Biafra. Isn't I say, Nenea now, ever since they've gotten him, what's up? We don't even talk about Biafra no more. They talk about it ourselves. We don't even talk about IPOB no more. We don't defend our name. They defend it for ourselves. So every step we take and every move the enemy makes, it takes us closer to the promised land. I yield the mic. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you. Darling.
Thanks very much. May Chukwuemeka continue to be your strength, and may he give you more wisdom and bring you back next week Sunday when we gather to share more awareness. You see, your word is just clear, whiter than white and whiter than snow. So I always tell people, most people does not know that our eternal leader, Dim Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, left for Ivory Coast from the house of Israel in Isiama Faruku. Our leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was born for this. He didn't know any other thing apart from Biafra, even though some people was at a time a kind of politician for PDP or so. He followed this. Nnamdi was groomed. Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was groomed, bred to do exactly what he's doing now. That's why he will tell you, I was born a Biafra and I'm going to die as a Biafran citizen, and nothing will change it. He has the secret of our ancestors. The gods are with him. That's why most of us will continue to follow him even to the grave, and nothing will. In our protests and our demos, we will continue to sing that song, Holy, Holy. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the Savior. You people can go to hell and die. We don't give a damn about it, because your white Jesus is there and they are killing our people. Nobody talked about it. I don't want to diverse the program. I will call on Mazi Biafra, and after Mazi Biafra, I will give the mic to Mazi Nwamuche. But Mazi Biafra, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my brother. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear
Yes,
me.
Mazi, please make it 3 minutes because truly we are just like 25 minutes above our time. May Okike be your strength.
Yeah,
You have
thank
the
you.
mic.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I'm not going to spend much time, sir, because I'm always here. So we have to give those who have not been here a chance to speak. Uh, please, is the issue of what Soludo said and what some of us are saying here. Please, my brothers, let us think about this. The only governor inside Nigeria that have the courage and come out and say, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Soludo. Yes, let's understand this and take this thing before condemning him. Let's not be ungrateful, please, my people. Yes, he made mistake. We should thank him and correct him where he made mistake. Not being ungrateful. It will discourage even others that want to speak out. We all know he made mistake. That one, I'm sure even him that said that he know he made mistake. You cannot stand shorting for someone that court have already free. He know he made mistake. But we should not be ungrateful, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mazi, for putting your point straight the way we understood it. And may Okike continue to bless you. Like as you said, you're always a listener on our program. I would like now to start calling in those that are joining us for the first time. And please, when they come in, I would like them to introduce themselves. And if they are in the contraption called Zoo Nigeria, they don't need to tell us their location. If they're outside the contraption called Zoo Nigeria, they can tell us their location. Our rules remain, this is 2023. We are not here to play politics with our people because we are being slaughtered and nobody is coming to defend us, but we see it as a duty to defend ourselves, and neither are we here for distraction. Mazi Amuche, the mic is yours. Do you hear me? Or can you hear me?
Good evening. I'm here.
Mazi, a little bit loud.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Can you
Good
hear me?
evening. Yes, but a little bit loud again. Come a little bit close to the mic so that the listeners can hear you well. The mic is yours, Mazi.
To the mic now. Good evening, everyone. So this is actually the first time I'm joining the space for Nnamdi Kanu.
Please, Mazi, we are not hearing you well, please.
Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know. Is it better now?
Yes, now loud and clear.
Okay. So I was like, I really appreciate being here. This is the first time I'm joining such a space. I've followed Nnamdi Kanu since 2014. I've been a follower. I've watched events as they unfold, and his fight is just, and we are all in this together. I just wanted to know the issue about the United Nations, and I wanted to follow through on what is going on in that space, and also because I think many Nigerians are not getting, many people, Biafrans are not getting information anymore. People are no more like getting to know what is happening and what moves are being made. Now people are like trying to go towards the divergent views, following people who are actually not for us. So I think we should do more with putting information out there that this was happening. These are the moves that are going on. Because the information is key. Information is powerful. If there's no information, people will just forget about the fact that there's this movement and there's this injustice going on, and the courts have released Nnamdi Kanu, but the Nigerian government have refused to obey various court judgments. And on the issue of Soludo, I've seen him. For a long time I viewed him as pro, or he has an inkling towards the movement. But the fact that he's a governor and all that, it might be difficult to actually be visible I think his mention of Nnamdi Kanu was political. It was just to score political points in the face of the fact that he has a rival in his state who is going for presidency, and he just wanted to like get ahead with the mention of Nnamdi Kanu's name. I don't think we should be too excited about that, but in the same vein, he has been the only governor that has spoken out with that respect. But the only thing is that we should not be distracted, and we should also not trust any politician, because the truth is that politics, it's they don't do what's right in politics. As a politician, you might never have to do the right thing, because you only do what is expedient, what is necessary, and to your own ambition, and to your own interest, and to the interest of the powers that be. So I think we should continue with this course. We should keep pushing. It's a multifaceted war that we are fighting, both politically and in the terrain, and as a guerrilla warfare. We have to go all out. But I wanted to as a historian, I studied the Scottish National Party, and I realized that they went for political solution, and I wanted to because I have a lot of people in the movement, and when I talked to them, I was like, okay, um, are we are we um are we very bent on going the route we are going, and what is the plan for long term? Like looking at the fact that Nigeria is a country that doesn't relate decent, and the world is not ready for a war in Africa, for a war in Nigeria. Are we considering the political solution to this? And if yes, I would like to know how you want the youth to come in, the younger generations, the future of Biafra, how we want to bring them into this course, and proceed with either a political solution or a soft core solution that would carry people along, so we won't look like we are hardliners, terrorists, or people who want to just cause anarchy. Because I believe the course is just, but it's just in the presentation, and I just want us to consider other ways or avenues of going about this. First of all, creating a referendum amongst ourselves, because many people feel like some people are actually hijacking this movement and taking it the way they want. But if we can actually get a lot of people down in the grassroots to support this movement, to support the Afro movement, and go about it in a political manner, I think we can get it quicker and faster than most we imagine. So I just like to understand how we're going about the United Nations movement, and how we want to carry along the international community, because most people in Africa are scared that if we allow a Biafra in Nigeria, something might happen in Cameroon, something might happen in Western Sahara, something might happen in Kenya, and that it might be bloody, it might cause unrest, and if Nigeria explodes, Africa explodes. So how do we, assure the British, assure the Americans, assure the powers that be that this movement is not going to go bloody, and is not going to, cause unrest in the continent? I yield the mic. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mazi Kati. May Chukwuka Biama be your strength, and may he continue to protect wherever you are. Thanks for the wisdom you shared with our listeners today. You see, one thing, we are fighting to restore a Biafra where human life will worth more than that of a cow. We that are in diasporas, when I don't want to use a dirty word, but when you've seen the light, it's very difficult to stay in darkness. And that is the problem most of us. I think that is one of the biggest things that is driving us also, because we are living most of us are living in a civilized country. And those amenities we're enjoying here, we are living in community where government works, is what we want to bring back home. And believe me, we are not going to compromise for any other thing, just like as our leader is saying it. We are fighting to restore a Biafra where something like power supply will be a normal thing. Water supply will be free for every Biafran citizen. Security for life and properties will be a normal thing, guaranteed by the government, where you can live anytime in the night and travel to any part of Biafra land without having the fear that Fulani Janjaweed or kidnappers will jump on you. We are fighting to restore a Biafra where the government will see it as a duty that, apart from free education for citizens, for the young generation, that the young entrepreneur that are coming up, that the as a duty that they will help them so that they will grow and create more jobs for people. We are fighting to restore a society, a Biafran nation, where the government will see it as a duty that the existing industries, it is their duty to expand them, to make them more competitive, to compete with big companies around the globe. We are fighting to restore a Biafra where there will be social welfare for those who are handicapped, those who are psychologically unfit, like those who are jumping on all these, should I call them, the autopilots, or what do they call themselves? Those handicapped people that cannot walk, and those that one way or the other, for one reason or the other, they cannot be able to walk, or that they are disabled mentally or things like that. Every Biafran citizen will have a right to a certain amount of money. Every Biafran citizen will have a right for home, roof on top of his head. Because that is the way we know it here in diaspora. We are living in society where they don't have the kind of mineral resources we have in Biafran. These are the things our leader saw here. He saw the injustice our people are facing with the massive mineral resources we have back home. Most of us now that have spent a long time here, we are asking ourselves, what are we doing here? We let them to come and live in hell. Because here where we're living is hell. Right now I'm talking to you. Outside, if I just step out of my door, I have -1 degree temperature. The food I'm eating here are not organic. They're already poisoned with different kind of fertilizers and the rest of the bomb from World War II and all these things. I should be at home eating ofonu bofora, offense salad and all this type of thing, so that I can live long like my ancestors. So the goal of our mission is to restore the kingdom of God on earth, and we're not going to compromise on that. Before we continue, I will call in Mazi. I will call him Mazi Sydney Chooks. Mazi, can you hear me?
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, Mazi, please just give us a short introduction because you're a new listener on our program. If you're in Biafra land or if you're in that contraption, also Nigeria, we don't need your location. But if not, you will.
Thank you, my brother. I'm not a new person. I'm Mazi Chuk Sydney. I'm speaking from Italy. Then I'm a part of parcel of this struggle of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu structure. And it has been a long time. This normal space, I don't see it like before when I normally come in before with my normal Twitter account have been blocked before I open this one. So today I find this space, then I come in. Then I now try to come up. Because all this while that this space have not been coming like before, normally we used to see this guy called Simon Epa coming up on the space, talking rubbish and all that, based on what I mean by talking rubbish, because most of his followers will come in here and start saying that they will talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they are saying this time around whom we know is Simon Epa. And they refuse to give people they don't know mic. They will come up here, they will hold on the mic and start giving their own their people they know to come and start talking rubbish. And when somebody come and I counter them, they will kick the person out from the space. Then look at how Nnamdi Kanu structure is moving ahead here right now on this space, giving everybody mic, come up and speak your mind. This is my heart. This is where I am. And this is me. That's why I come up here to please and plead for this space. Keep coming like before. Before every Sundays, I am waiting to join this space. For a very long time now, I've not been seeing this space for a very long time. This is New Year 2023. I could believe that the structure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very plain and very clean and very structured that he left before wheresoever Nnamdi Kanu is. Wherever Nnamdi Kanu is, I believe she'll be happy and she's okay by the special grace of God that the structure is moving ahead without nobody tampering it, without nobody messing it up. And I must appreciate you people, and I must encourage my own thoughts here today is to encourage you people to keep coming out to counter, because for the last time I talked with somebody to counter what someone is coming to do on space, and we host a space for it. All these kind of things will come up here. We host space for it to counter somebody who have not been there when now the Kanu have put a structure down to come up and they put and something we don't know where it is to come and say sit at home, sitting 5 days, sitting from 14, giving a structure from where? From who? Now the Kanu never put a structure from social media. Now the Kanu have just put a structure from YouTube. Now the Kanu have a radio Biafra where it gave us the in and out of what he have put in on ground. So I believe that everybody should go to Radio Biafra, listen to what the structure of Nnamdi Kanu have made for. Go ahead and follow this structure. When you come up on the Twitter, you will see the structure of Nnamdi Kanu the way it is. Not somebody that will come and take glory for where he has not suffered, he has not passed through what Nnamdi Kanu has passed through, and you believe because Nnamdi Kanu have mentioned your name, and you come to mess Nnamdi Kanu up. We cannot take it. I can't believe it. We cannot agree that somebody will come up and mess up because Nnamdi Kanu mention your name. Did Nnamdi Kanu mention that guy's name? He mentioned 5 people name. Among the 5 people, nobody has come up to speak bad against the structure of Nnamdi Kanu. Why is it only one person? That only one person cannot mess up of what Nnamdi Kanu have put on the ground. Thank you very much. That is my take. Please, I'm here.
Thanks very much. Could be your strength, and may He bless you for your wisdom. Like as we said, you're always welcome to Biafran Twitter space every Sunday, 7 p.m. Biafran time. We are there, even though we are under attack from the zoo government and the power to be. We must continue to move is our motto, and nothing can stop us. We are always able, royal and disciplined under the C&C, under the control of DOS. May Chukwu Kabiama bless them. The doors are wide. Somebody should tweet it loud. Before we continue, I want to call in the new speaker again, Mazi Habat. I don't know, Mazi Habat, after you, our last speaker today will be Mazi, okay, it's like Raw, Chinon, yeah, I don't know. But this shall be our last 2 speakers for today. Mazi Habat, can you hear me? Mazi Habat, can you hear me? Okay, it's like Mazi Habat is not there. Lolo Chinonye, can you hear me? Or Mazi Chinonye?
Sorry, it's not a Mazi.
Okay,
yeah, I
Lolo,
can hear you.
Lolo, you're welcome. A short introduction is good. And may Chukwu Kabiama continue to bless you as you join the family this evening to share awareness. The mic is yours.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chinai, and I'm calling from the United States. This is actually the second time that I'm joining. No, not really the second time, but the second time I'm speaking on this. Um, I want to start by thanking you and everybody that's here on this space. Um, it's such a wonderful thing to know that with everything that's been going on, there are people that are still very resolute, people that are still very, intact, that are concerned and actually doing what they need to do, people that not allowed money to sway them away from the real deal, which is the restoration of Biafra. And I just wanted to say, first of all, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I want everybody to just keep praying for him. I totally believe in one thing, that he who called him to this very noble course is not going to let him down. Regardless of what we hear, regardless of what we see, it is very important that everybody gets, just sit tight and focus, because that's the most important thing. Focus. There's a lot of distractions out there. You see a lot of people out there on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, trying to make some money. Don't let them distract you. Just understand that we need this restoration. We need a country where we can be treated as equal partners to the country. We need a country where we can go and be very happy that we are in our home. A country where you're not going to be looking over your shoulder every time because somebody with AK-47 is actually coming after you. We need a country where we can book a flight from wherever we are in the world, and we are going with confidence, with joy, knowing that we are going to our home. We need a country where we're going to go and then we'll feel relaxed, and be able to enjoy the natural things that the Lord has given to us as a people. So I don't know what anyone can ever ask better than that. And I don't even understand what it is. I don't know what it can make a man, somebody who is practically in exile, that cannot go home to his father's land to collect. I don't care how much anybody is given. Is it worth your freedom? That's something you have to ask yourself. Does it really worth your freedom? Does it really worth you being in exile? It doesn't matter. Even if you are whatever nation where you are and you're sending money home and building the best mansion, will you ever go home comfortably and stay in that mansion without looking over your shoulder? Is that what you want to do? Even if you don't like yourself, what about your children? What about the generation that are unborn? Are you going to also keep them in perpetual poverty just because you're getting a little crumbs from the table of those that call the shot right now? I want people to think beyond the thing that you have right now, the money that you're giving right now, and think about the future. Think about what Mazi has been saying all this while. And also think about the fact that this man could have just thrown in the towel, collect whatever he can collect, and live large wherever he wants to. But he gave it all up. He decided to go through this pain for us so that we can at least have a place of our own. Now, talking about Governor Soludo, I listened to that and I laughed, because one thing, why am I laughing? Because Governor Soludo is a professor. He know exactly that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a free man, and there is no way you can, shitty for a free man. It's not done. So let that not be a problem. For me, that's not a topic. That's not an issue. Because whatever he said, he knew why he said whatever he said, and we understand why he said whatever he said. But the point is, we're looking forward to Mazi's freedom, walking out of the dungeon where he's being kept right now. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Whether the devil likes it or not, it's going to get to a point where Mazi is going to come out. And everything we're seeing today, everything we're hearing today, both the people that are fighting him, fighting the structures, fighting everything that Mazi has done. They all are going to be covered in shame. Trust me. As long as the people that are working constantly are focused and continue without looking back, the DOS remain where they are, do what they need to do. They don't need to answer to certain things. There are things that's not what their time, because they have a lot of things in their hands. And that's exactly what they need to focus on. And then everybody else, the media warriors and everybody else, in your little corner, there's something you can do. If you don't have anything else to do, you can pray. Pray for the success of this great movement. Pray for the success of the Eastern Security Network. Pray for the success of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Pray for the success of everything that is going on right now. That is something that you can do. And try as much as possible to stay away from anywhere where there's a negative energy. Don't even go there. Don't insert yourself in something that's going to distract you. When you see things that does not count, just forget about it and focused. If we all get focused and stop this back and forth, then we're going to see that these things will begin to fizzle out, because that's the way I see them. They are all noise, and at some point they're going to die down and the truth will surely prevail. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Biafra time. Is it Biafra time? Oh, I forgot the name of the space. But
Biafra
thank
space.
you. Biafra space. Yeah. Thank you so much. You guys are doing a great job. You might think it's nothing, but this little time that you spend every Sunday, trust me, a lot of people are listening. People are turning back. People are understanding better. And at some point, it's going to get to a point where everybody will walk on the street of Biafra and we will praise the Lord. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Lolo, for the wonderful message filled. You see, I think it's people like you that our leaders saw and say once our women got into this struggle, Biafra is there. Not people like this criminal they call Bridget Okafor or Damoibo. It's princesses like you, those that really knows what it means to live in a free nation called Biafra. Those are the ones we are looking for. And you're always welcome to join us and always invite your friends and community to always, be here and help educate our people. Thanks very much. And may Elohim continue to be your protector. He said, I have to continue and we must continue. We have to continue with the cry of our ancestor, those we owe our life to. Class of 1967. Those men that died smiling, those men that snatched gun from the zoo soldiers with bare hand, those men that made something out of nothing, those men that refined petrol without any technology, those men that provide electricity in Biafra land without any technology, those men that make sure that there was running water without any technology, those men that built cars without any technology, those men that developed Obunigwe, they fly Obunigwe with their own sense and with their own feeling. Those men that we owe everything that we are doing today. We have to start with their own cry and their own oath and promise. May Chukwu Kabiama be with them. Land of rising sun we love and cherish, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our life or we shall perish. We shall protect our heart from all our foe. But if the price is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. You see, these are words of men that knows exactly what they are fighting for. Men that are so formidable, men that were disciplined, men that understood what is at stake. And we are these men because we are our ancestors. We have their spirit in us. And that's why we are sending a straight message to our enemies. First, if anything happens to our leader, oh, I pity for not only the Fulani as a race, I pity for the mankind. I'm sorry for the mankind, because never you underrate a desperate Biafran, his reaction. If the world are troubled by the actions of a sect called Boko Haram, because they killed their leader, Mohammed Yusuf or Shiaku, I don't know what they call them. Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, the biggest freedom fighting movement, mass movement in the whole world. We are more than 70 million in population. You cannot predict how we act. We are represented in every country in this Mother Earth. It is not by suddenly. It is not by just a tweak of ice. It comes from years of oppression, years of desperation, years of injustice. The 20 pounds, should I call it strategies that we are introduced in our place, of which my own father was one of the victims. We have this bloodline in us, and we are waiting for those, our brothers that are sitting on the fence, those that does not know what the time it is, those that call themselves obedient or articulate or tifnubu. We know that this election called charade that is going to happen on the February 25th of this year is going to be make or break. We don't expect that contraption called zoo to exist after this election, because after this election, the disappointment, the anger that will follow those youths that fail to learn from NSAS protests and all these things is what is going to destroy that contraption. And in our different zones, we are just collecting chairs and tables, waiting for them to come back after this election so that we can tell them which way forward. And a speaker said today that it's like the message is not coming down completely. We've said in our last 2 or 3 programs, because we don't want to give those infiltrators, those that are sitting at the back of plane and trying to pilot a plane, we don't want to give them again or a kind of a great hope for them to be able to continue to take advantage on the gullible ones among us, those that are ignorantly following the I don't know what to call him, the media that is based in Finland. We don't want to give them that room. That's why in the last days we reduced information to the zones. So if you don't belong to the family member, try and get under the umbrella IPOB, under the leadership of Directorate of State, headed by Chike Dozim, a man that is filled with wisdom, a man that this monster called IPOB, that the leadership is handed over to him through our leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are ever royal and disciplined to the cause, and whatever DOS says goes. So if you want to get more information, always listen to Radio Biafra. And those that their frontal lobe is still closed, make sure you always Mazi Chinedu, Radio Biafra Hausa Service or Mazi Aloziem. Go to that university and get your gospel, get yourself treated, understand who you are, what it means to call yourself Nwafo, what it means to say I'm a Biafran. Go there and get the message straight so that you won't be fooled by anybody. With this, we are coming to the end of the program. Our demand remains the unconditional release of our leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a man that was brutally kidnapped in Kenya and renditioned to Nigeria, the contraption called zoo, that is under the leadership of Fulani hegemony. If anything happens to our leader, the story will be heard all over the world. And we are telling the Europeans, if you're already a kind of should overstretch from the refugees floating from, should I call it Ukraine and Afghanistan or Syria, I want you to know that we have the population in that contraption called Zoo, that the population there is of what is in that country. And when if things goes wrong, may God have mercy on the Red Sea, on the Atlantic Ocean, because the desperation of the indigenous population, the way they are desperate, with all these years of suppression, oppression, injustice, they will walk from there, swim across the ocean, and flood this Europe against all odds, whether you like it or not. So, United Nations, we advise you to keep to your charter and uphold your charter. It's not only when it's white people that you will uphold your charter, like as you're running around screaming Ukraine. Biafran life matters. As they're killing Biafrans down there in the Gulf, it is time you become active and do something. It's not just speaking. It's not just doing the talk. We need actions. And that is what Biafrans are calling for. I thank each and every one of you for bringing out your time, because most people does not know how important it is to take out time to come and join us. And wherever you're joining us, may Okike continue to bless you. I want to thank the host for providing this space for us today. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to bless you. Elohim be your strength, so that you will join us next week, Sunday, one more time again. The same blessings and the same protection we ask Okike to give our gallant men, the Eastern Security Network, those men that are there, even like as we are reminding Soludo that the Nnewi, I think is exactly Nnewi. I don't know exactly where Nnewi, where Fulani gathering, where they will start attacking our people very soon in Anambra, because we have their game plan. Shouldn't also forget to provide security. And if you need the help of the Eastern Security Network, go through the right channel and ask for help, so that what happened in Ehamufu, what happened in Anambra, we are keeping records. And when the time comes, is we, the people, is we, the indigenous people of Biafra, we bring book to each and every politician in our region. Those that have the blood of innocent Biafrans in their hand must face the justice of their own community. Not that somebody from Omambara will come to you or in Enugu Ebony. No, it is your kingsmen there, just like as our leader said it, that will still hang you at the market square if care is not taken. Believe me, democracy started in our region. Our ancestors started this democracy that the white people are trying to champion. And we shall make sure that we prove everything to them when the time comes. Because our region was the most peaceful place on earth. That's why when the missionaries came, they were shocked that we didn't even have security internally. We didn't have prison. And those were the things they fight to make sure that they destroy, so that they can claim superiority. May Okike be your strength wherever you are. From here is good evening.